Hi, how you doing? My name is Trayshawn Stepney. I am an elective teacher at KIPP Inspire Academy located in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, I want to talk about how student voice and choice in middle school electives is a strong way to advocate for culturally responsive and differentiated instruction. So let's go ahead and get this started. Before we take a deep dive into electives and how important they are, I want us to make sure we highlight and emphasize the importance of culturally responsive and differentiated instruction. Culturally responsive instruction recognizes that students bring their culture, experiences, and identity into the classroom. Teachers can use those experiences as assets for learning. Meanwhile, differentiated instruction focuses on meeting students where they are academically and providing multiple pathways to demonstrate learning. Culturally relevant pedagogy connects students' culture, community, and identity to instruction, which increases engagement and academic success. So, now that we got that fully understood, let's take a deep dive into electives. Why do electives matter? Electives give students opportunities to explore their interests and talents. Classes such as math, dance, theater, or even STEP, that's me, hi, allow students to express themselves in ways they may not get to in core classes such as math or English. Research on culturally responsive teaching in the fine arts classroom shows that when students see their culture and identity reflected in learning, their engagement increases and they feel more connected to the school. Now, let's stop for a second. I want to ask you guys this quick question. Would you feel secure in your performance if you never had the opportunity to dive deeper within your desired discipline? So, rather you are a mathematician, an athlete, a singer, an artist, a poet, if you never had the opportunity to have tunnel vision and full direct focus on your craft, how positive or how confident would you feel within your performance of that discipline or craft? Take some moments to have that conversation with your peers. Now that we're done talking with our peers, let's go ahead and chat about the challenges of having a rotational elective model. In some middle schools, students are required to rotate through multiple electives instead of selecting the classes they are interested in. Unfortunately, my school, KIPP St. Louis, I'm sorry, my school district, we are reverting back to this system. While the intention is to expose students to different subjects, this model often reduces engagement because students may be placed into classes they are not interested in. Because of this, this does arise a lot of more conflict when it comes to development within in certain disciplines, whether it's choir, math, or theater. Just because you'll have so many a large group of people, large group of students that probably do not have that much interest. So there's going to be probably some behavioral issues, etc. So it's going to automatically decrease engagement through the class all through limited skill development, and it's going to be inconsistent classroom culture. Let's talk about how the limited time for skill development. Consistency is essential for skill development in the performing arts classes. When students attend only once or twice per week, it becomes difficult to build routines, develop choreography or performance, and maintain classroom culture. Let's take this a little bit further. We already know electives are ways for band and choir students to tone their skills that can also advance their higher education. For instance, a science major can use their band scholarship to help continue their college career. So imagine them not being able to tone that skill to receive that funding or to receive that accolade. That's the equivalent of a third grader being forced to only be take math for once or twice a week. Do you think they're going to be able to tone those skills properly? I think not. So now that we talked about some challenges and how it kind of negatively affects the quality of work as well as the retainment of the information given within these elective classes, let's talk about the importance of how special student choice is. Research on elective course scheduling found that students placed into electives they did not choose often become disengaged and unmotivated. Researchers found that allowing students to choose electives improves engagement and academic outcomes. Now we talked about the downfalls of having a rotational elective system. I want to talk about the vision that I have for electives and how they should fully be run all across the board. So, for one, this main goal is to empower students through elective programs that support culturally responsive learning, differentiated instruction, and creativity. within the student identity. The main goal of this proposal is to create elective programs that allow students to explore interests while supporting culturally responsive and differentiated teaching practices. Research states that culturally relevant pedagogy can help close achievement gaps and connecting classroom learning to students' real life experiences. Specifically, performing arts electives naturally support this because students are able to express culture, creativity, and identity when they feel safe and when they have the full choice to be in those spaces. In order to support my vision, I have two SMART goals that I want to share with you guys. One that is tailored to students and one that is tailored to teachers. Let's go ahead and start with the SMART goal number one. This one is talking about increasing student engagement. Within 2 years, the district will increase student engagement in elective classes by 20% through student selected elective pathways. Allowing students to select electives based on their interests can significantly improve engagement and participation in the classroom. The second goal supports teachers. Teachers must be equipped with knowledge and strategies needed to support diverse learners through culturally responsive instruction. Within 2 years, the same 2 years, 100% of elective teachers will receive training in culturally responsive and differentiated instruction. Now, let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to be implementing culturally responsive instruction within these courses. Culturally responsive instruction can be integrated into electives through creative projects and performance-based learning. Performing arts programs such as such as choir, dance, theater, etc., naturally support culturally responsive instruction by allowing students to explore different cultural music traditions, dance styles, and storytelling. In order to support the professional development of our teachers, professional development will help teachers develop the skills necessary to support culturally responsive and differentiated learning environments. Training can take place through workshops, collaboration with colleagues, and professional learning communities. Providing teachers with the appropriate resources ensures that they can effectively implement culturally responsive differentiated instruction. And this also includes performing arts equipment, culturally diverse curriculum materials, and funding for teacher training. Now let's go ahead and get into how this is all going to be measured and how we're going to work this out time-wise. Schools will collect both quantitative and qualitative data to determine the effectiveness of these initiatives. Regular evaluations ensures that cultural, responsive, and differentiated practices remain effective and continue to improve student success. So if you go ahead and take a look here within our timeline that we have, within 1 year, that's when we're going to implement the selected electives in teacher training. Year two, we're going to analyze engagement and performance data just to see how did this year go about and how well is it going, and then how is this looking as we continue on to the second year. And then the third one, we're going to go ahead and make adjustments based on the results that we found within, just based off of the findings that we find within our data. Now, here's the call to action that I have for you guys. When students choose where they belong, they invest more within their learning. As I said in the beginning of my presentation, when it comes to students, they're the same as adults. We have our best work when we feel safe, when we feel like we're in a place that we're comfortable and that we can grow in. Educational leaders have an opportunity to create learning environments where students feel connected and motivated. Supporting student choice and electives allows students to explore their interests while developing important skills. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. If you have any questions or if you have any new ideas of how we can implement cultural responsive instruction as well as differentiated instruction along with elective courses, feel free to let me know. Feel free to share. Thank you so much. Have a good day.